Today's episode focuses on the recent tax reform bills in Nigeria.
Rents that are lower than 10 million naira per month are now exempted from stamp duty. Now, let's look at it. How many houses are worth 10 million?
There is tax exemption on anybody that is earning 800k per annum. So if you are earning 1 million, that means you will be taxed on that 200k only. That's 15% of 200k.
The reform offer promise, your execution is the key.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pace Pod, where we talk real estate and world trend and how it affects Nigeria in all. I'm your host for today, Utbu Mariam. Today's episode focuses on the recent tax reform bills in Nigeria and its implication for real estate, housing and construction, and we will be examining the key change and the potential impact. And I have a lovely guest with me. Can you please introduce?
My name is Akanlaro Aduyusuf.
My name is Kayode Ikma.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm excited to have you both on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Considering this perspective,
Yeah.
the key tax reform its real estate, and what do they mean for Nigerians?
Yeah, as I've said earlier, thank you for having us. And this is a very wonderful topic we have here today, because tax is what affects every Nigerians, like every taxable Nigerians. So this topic is a wonderful one, and I thank you for bringing us on board. So going to the question, how it affects Nigerians, I think it will definitely have a lot of positive impacts on Nigerians, in the sense that there are some notable additions that the tax reform brings, like VAT exemptions, that's value-added tax exemption on building materials, and value-added tax exemption on land sales and rents, and capital gain tax relief, that's CGT relief. What does that mean? That means on personal sales of residential property, there will be capital gains relief, like you will not pay, or you'll be paying at a very lower rate. And what does that mean in general? Like the VAT, it will mean that if you are buying cement, there will be 7.5 deduction on the price of cement. Building material, other building materials like the roofing sheets, the iron bars, all those stuffs, there will be VAT exemptions. And when you are buying land, most importantly, you will not be paying 7.5% of any amount you're buying. Yeah.
And now that we've outlined the key reforms, let's talk about what they mean for every Nigerian. Yes. How will they affect housing costs? Okay. For buyers and renters, and mostly for developers too.
Okay, so I would like to take it from buyers first. Yes. For first-time home buyers, they will not be paying VAT. They will not be paying the 7.5% VAT. And the fact that VAT has also been exempted in building materials, that will lead to low cost of housing production.
Yeah.
And when we say buyers, we just don't mean people that want to buy properties for housing. They can also be investors. So there are some people that want to buy properties to sell later in the future. So I would use CGT exemption as case study for them. Because as an investor, if you are buying a property and you want to sell, initially you would have to pay 10% of your profits to capital gain tax. But now the government has made it easy. Whether as a buyer that wants to buy to build house,
To
live,
yeah,
or you want to make the property as a source of investment,
yeah,
you are not going to be paying any tax. And for renters, for the renters like tenants, the fact that stamp duty, there's not going to be stamp duty for the landlords that are also buying the houses. You know, initially when the landlords have to pay stamp duties and every other
VAT.
taxes, it will always reflect on the tenant's bills too.
Yeah.
Because if I'm paying more tax, absolutely,
As landlord.
my as landlord, my tenants would have to also pay more. So now that there's no stamp duty, it will indirectly also reflect on the bills of the tenants, which has also the renters. And also, I would talk about the fact that there's rents that are lower than 10 million naira per month are now exempted from stamp duty. Now let's look at it. How many houses are worth 10 million per month? I'm not talking per, you're not saying per year. It's years. It is per month. So that will definitely make housing affordable for every Nigeria. Whether you are a low income earner or middle income earner.
Yeah.
Because that's another misconception. A lot of people do think maybe it's just for, the people that are already making it already.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the demand side. But what about the supply side? The developers who actually build the houses. What the impact on small developers, and will investors withdraw in, or what will happen to them?
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I go to that question, I would just like to make few additions to what she said.
Okay.
On my own perspective, the present housing deficit in Nigeria is around 17 million to 28 million housing deficit.
Yeah.
Housing units. So that tax, this thing is trying to bridge the gap from the renter side. Like when you're renting, they are bridging the housing units deficit to a reduced level. And to the developer side now that you asked me, how it will help them generally is the fact that when they are not paying taxes or low taxes on some affected products, like the bill as enlisted earlier, that means when you have 7.5% deducted from your building materials, let's imagine I'm building 10 units of 4-bedroom duplexes in an area, in a very expensive area, let's say 10 million per land. I will not be paying 7.5% tax on that land that I'm getting. Per plot, I will not pay. That means on that 10 million, I must have saved something around 750,000 naira on that land alone. Yeah. When I'm buying material, I want to build 10 units of 4-bedroom. That means on each unit of 4-bedroom duplex, I will use an average of 1,000 bags of cement. So on 1,000 bags of cement, that means I will still save like 750 again.
Yeah.
On VAT alone, on just cement. Now multiply that 7.5 on each land, on cement, on the iron bars, on roofing sheets, calculate all those things and sum it together. That means we will have affordable housing units up for sale from the investors and developers side now. That means I will have to deduct 750k from my cement, 750k from my land, from my iron bars, from my sands, granites, all those things. I will have to reduce all those VAT, and it will show on the amount I'm meant to sell my products at the end of the construction. Do you get?
Yeah.
Let's say the project will be going for, let's say, 100 million. That means when I calculate that this thing, I will have 7.5 million lower.
Yeah.
And that will mean what? That will mean affordable housing units.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beyond the affordable housing units, the real test is on supply side. The developer who build the house.
Yeah.
And do you think these reforms will attract more investments, both local and institutional?
Yeah.
Like REITs.
I think it will attract them more, because there is now clearer valuation standard, in the sense that
taxing the how to standardize the taxing.
So what I would say is that absolutely yes, because there's now clearer valuation standard, in the sense that the multiple taxation, the initial multiple taxation,
That you pay for tax on
you
cement,
have to pay
pay
for
for
VAT,
VAT.
CGT, and all that. And
The-
that made initially the fact that you have to pay for different kinds of taxes, stamp duty, VAT. It made real estate profits unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yes. But now you already know how much you'll be gaining. Just like how Mr. Isu said earlier, that is when you are buying building material, there is you have 7.5% more.
Yeah.
So whether as someone who just wants to build or someone wants to invest now, you now know that you are not sharing your profit or even your capital
Yeah.
to build with the government or any officials. You already know where this money is going. You already know how it's going to
Utilize your money.
Yes. So I think that is enough to attract
Investors locally
and institutional.
Yeah.
Thank you both. Do you think this reform will attract more investments, both local and international, like LCI?
Yeah.
Okay. What will be your advice for the different stakeholders?
Okay.
Home buyers, renters, and developers, ma'am?
Yeah. So on that, I think the question is talking about home buyers
Navigate
through the tax system. Yes. So investors, I think one major key this thing is on investors. My own personal advice to investors is the fact that everybody should keep going into real estate. In what sense? When you're buying your land, for the start, like that's the primary raw material in construction. When you buy the land now means you will not pay 7.5%, you not pay stamp duty. Do you get?
Yeah.
When you are renting houses, you will not pay all those things. And another thing that is essential that our people need to know on a general note, that Mr. Taiwo Idele, the chairman of the tax reform policy, that he highlighted on one of his interviews, is the fact that it is not as complex as people are taking it. In the sense that some people are saying, okay, when you started earning 100K per month, you start paying, I think, 15%, which is not correct. There is tax exemption on anybody that is earning 800K per annum. So if you are earning 1 million, that means you will be taxed on that 200K only. That's 15% of 200K.
Yes.
So that's on the masses side. Do you get? On the investor side, it will drastically reduce their production costs. Do you get? It will reduce their production costs, because when we calculate all those things that we've been saying, it will reduce how much you will gain in at the end of the construction and how much you're going to sell for people. And another major this thing is for corporate people. I think they increased the company's internal company's income tax, that's CIT. They increased it from 25 million to 100 million. Before, it used to be when you are earning, say, 25 million, you pay 30% tax on it. Now they increased that bar from 25 to 100 million, which means you will not pay tax when your annual turnover as a company is just 100 million.
Okay.
So you will now pay after 100 million, 30%. So generally now, I think people should just see real estate as a tax haven system. Like you are trying to evade tax by venturing into real estate.
They should hide under real estate kind of.
Of course, because you will definitely not pay a lot of taxes that other this thing are paying.
Okay. In conclusion now, the reform, okay.
So just like Mr. Yusuf has said, we can now see that governments have designed these reforms to stimulate housing affordability. So I would say that people should position themselves for future growth by acquiring properties before demand spikes.
Yeah.
And most importantly, they should also get professional guidance.
Okay.
Mm.
That's what I would say. In conclusion now, the reform of our promise, your execution is the key.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just hope the government executes it as they've earlier highlighted.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to all listeners, you all know the light at the end of the tunnel is real estate, doesn't it? That's the key. And thank you, Mr. Yusuf. You're welcome. Thank you, Miss Ikema. You're welcome. Yes. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Comment below. Thank you. Bye.